Hello, everyone. So I'm all bundled up today. It's cold outside, but so I just dropped my daughter off at school, and I was telling her that, well, she asked me a question. She said if I could turn back time, like, would I do anything different, or like even just what year would I turn back to? So I told her the year, and I started thinking that if I turned it back and did things differently, I wouldn't have the greatest blessings of my life either. Yes, I wouldn't have the worst trials and tribulations of my life, but I also wouldn't have the greatest blessings of my life that I have today. So really ask yourself this question: would you turn back the hands of time? Because if you did, that same tribulation that you went through, you wouldn't have those same blessings that came out of it. So I really started to thinking too that I feel like God has like this big clock, right? That, that controls time pretty much. Okay. That's just my own personal theory. But so I started telling her that, and I was like, okay, so what if you really did ask God, can you turn this clock back? And can you turn it back to the year 2000? Okay. Give me the year 2000. Turn back hands of time to the year 2000. I personally believe that God will turn back the hands of time to the year 2000. It may still be 2023, but you will go through the same lessons as you did 2000. And I just thought about it too. I was like, that would be probably my year that I would go back to. I would go back to like the year 2000. And I started thinking about it. Wait a minute. I did kind of go back to the year 2000 because a lot of things that I went through within the past few months, or just within maybe like a year ago, it was literally the year 2000. It was just 2023. Like the number was different, but it was still that period of my life. Like everything that I went through in the year 2000 happened in 2022, early part of course, we're still in early part of 2023. So when you ask God for that, God will actually grant you those wishes. Like, if I could turn back the hands of time, God, I would do this differently. I would do that differently. And then God would then give you those tests or those things that you would have did differently. God presents those things to you again. So it's almost like, okay, so what are you going to do now that you are in that place in your life? So like, for example, let's say you're the type of person that got into like a horrible relationship in the year 2012. So you came out of it, you understood the lesson, or sometimes you don't even really understand why you went through those things. But let's say 2012, you got out of it, you survived it, right? And you talk to God and say, God, you know what? If I could have the year 2012, if I could just have that meet cute. What is it called? The cute meat, or meet cute. And I wouldn't talk to that particular type of guy because I would recognize who that guy is when they got back to me, or even that girl, right? So next thing you know, you go to the grocery store and some man or some woman try to talk to you that has literally the same energy as that person. That person that you fell for in the year 2012, now it's the year 2023, y'all meet in the grocery store, and this guy is cute, they're sexy, they're funny, they, intriguing, they're mysterious, you're mysterious to that person too, so that makes them intrigued about you, and it's the same energy. Then y'all go out on y'all first date, and he's nice, he's fun, but instead of you now kissing him on the first date, are you not going to kiss him? It's the same person. What are the things that you're going to do differently so that 2012 won't repeat itself? And we have to understand that God does that for us. God allows us to repeat certain lessons or repeat certain things in our life so that we can understand it. So that we can, okay, you said that you was going to do this differently if you go back to 2012. Okay, let me give you 2012 and 2023. Are you really going to do it differently? What you going to do? Different guy, same energy. Different girl, same scenario. What are you going to do different? Are you really going to do different, or are you just saying that? Because 2012 hurt you so bad that you say, you know what, I was hurt so bad, I would do it again. Never regret the past. Never regret it. Always learn from it. The example that I gave my daughter was this. Okay, so let's say you're taking a math test and it's a division. Let's say you're taking a math test on division, right? And the first time you take the test, 6 divided by 2, you put 5. And you get it wrong. But the teacher gives you another chance to take the test again. So when you see that same question on the test, are you going to put 6 divided by 2 is 5 again? Or are you going to put 6 divided by 2 is 3? So that's how it is with life. That's exactly how it is. Even though that we fail these tests, any test that we quote unquote fail, or any errors that we make on these different tests, God gives us a chance to take these things again. How are we going to learn from that error or that failed test that we had when God gives us the test back again? The test will already repeat itself back. And once the test repeats itself back, how are you going to do things differently on the revised test, on the repeat test, than you did on the original exam? You can't put 6 divided by 2 is 5 again, because then God is going to say, no, you got this question wrong again. Repeat it over. Take it over. I want you to get this question right. I want you to get a 100% on this test. You're going to keep repeating it over. Ugh. Confirmation. It came out of nowhere. So you're going to keep repeating it over until you get 100%, until you have enough chances to take these tests to get 100% on. Look at life that way. Look at your trials and tribulations. Look at your repeat actions that way. Don't never say, oh, I want to go back to 2012. Because you may not go back to the number 2012, but you're going to go back through that year of 2012. You're always going to go back through it again. If you hadn't learned from it, you're going to go back through it. You may not have gone through it right now. You may not have repeated the test right now because God wants you to study for it. Look, I'm not just going to throw that test out there like you. I'm not going to just make you just repeat this test over again. I'm going to give you some time to study for it. I'm going to give you time to reflect. And, hey, what did I get wrong? What error did I make? Okay, you know what? I could have did that a little bit differently. All right. You know what? I learned my lesson. Thank you, God, for that. I learned my lesson. I could have did that a little bit different. Okay, something else. You know what, God? I really was, a contributor inside this failed relationship, or inside of this, this job that fired me in the past that I'm still holding on to because I'm still hurt. Like, I did some things wrong. You know what? I could have fixed that. I could have did that. And after you study all of those lessons, right? The lessons repeat itself back. So now that you've learned from that, what are you going to do differently now from it? It's going to repeat itself. Don't say, I want to go back. No, you don't have to go back. You go forward. You're going to continue to go forward, but the tests are just going to repeat itself back. It's just that simple. So any mistakes that you made in your life, don't regret those things. It's okay. It's fine. Anything that you feel that, oh my God, I got these kids from this relationship and I love my kids. I wouldn't change, the fact that I got my kids, but I would change the fact that I have it with this particular person. If you change that, it won't be that kid. If you change the mother of your child, if you change the father of your child, it will not be that kid. And that's also another question. Like, I feel like I feel like both parents, like a lot of people say, yeah, the baby comes from the dad. I like to say the spirit comes from the mom, but I feel like both contributes. So if you didn't have that kid with that person, they wouldn't be the same person, regardless what you switch up. Because there are things that your kid got from you as a man or as a woman, and there are some things that your kid got from the other person, whether it's a man or a woman. You get what I'm saying? So you wouldn't have that blessing if you didn't go through that tribulation with that messed up partner that you had, that messed up baby mama, baby daddy that you had. You wouldn't have that blessing. So you can't remove the tribulation because you wouldn't have that blessing. Think about if you've never went to college. Like, think of, and then you say that college years, I should have did things differently. I should have changed my major when I was in college, because nothing that I'm doing right now even relates to what I studied, what in my degree. Look at the people that you met in college. Look at the paths that you crossed in college, where no, you didn't necessarily need the book sense that college gave you, but you need the common sense that college gave you. So what I'm just giving out examples here. What I'm saying is, do not regret anything in your life, because if you do, you regret the blessings that God giving you within that term, within that thing. And also, if you do want to repeat the test again and say, God, take me back to 2012. No, God won't take you back to 2012, but God will take you back to that energy of 2012, those same lessons that you had in 2012, and you will be able to do things a little bit different. All right, so that's today's message, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.